date, and to make sure that that pin is in place and that it is properly secured.
I'm gonna take it out and explain to him.
No, you're not taking it out.
Okay.
You're just pointing to the instructor, letting him know my fire extinguisher is located underneath the second seat. With that fire extinguisher, I'm checking to make sure that the date is not expired, the pin is in place, and that it's properly secured. Easy as that. So, with the passenger restroom, you're gonna just explain to the instructor that you're checking to make sure that it is clean and that everything in there is nothing's missing, right? There is an emergency button in here. Look for it. Go see one and press it. So when you press it,
Check the windows, so you want to skip
check
that
the windows. So again, the way we check the windows is how you're gonna check them at the DMV. You're gonna just tell the instructor my window's properly secured, it is not broken, and it is, it is proper, it is secure. And then the way I would check the emergency window would be to lift it up, push it out, and make sure that it locks properly. All right, what's next?
Interior lights.
Interior lights. Okay, so again, you're gonna have your lights on. You're just gonna explain to the instructor, these are my interior lights. I would check to make sure that they are on, that they are working. If there were to be a light out, I would report it to in my DVIR book. That way maintenance could be aware and they could fix it. So again, we talked about the walkway as we were entering the bus, right? My walkway is free and clear of debris, not ribbed. Free and clear of debris. No trip hazards, nothing that could possibly cause a passenger to... There's a trash can right back here, Carla. Behind the seat. Cool, what's next?
Okay, so where you want to go? That's page 10.
Page 10. Alright, let's go downstairs in the back area. A section, right? Where we have our wheelchair securement. We have two wheelchairs. We could accommodate up to two wheelchairs on the bus, okay? We have this side where it is a 4-point tie down. We'll teach you how to strap a wheelchair later today and throughout training. And then on that side you have the Quantum, which is as simple as pressing that button on the wall, and it'll bring those two clamps that you see on the ground and it'll pinch the wheelchair. That's it. Okay? And then we have the rear door. And then on the right hand side, we have the labels of how you would escape in case of an emergency, right? Simple as lifting up that little tab, twisting and pushing the doors. That's how you release. All right? That's where we have our triangles, okay? The triangles are always going to be in that section on these commuters. And then where you would explain the triangles to the instructors, just tell them in case of an emergency, triangles, I would put them out in the rear of my bus at spacing of what?
10, 100, and 200.
Right, 10, 100, 200 feet. Instructor, do you want me to demonstrate how to deploy the ramp? He's going to say no, because they don't care. 50 people have gone to the DMV or more. None of them have had to deploy the ramp. So any questions about this lower area? Anytime you get on the bus, they're always going to put on the seatbelt first. All right, so go ahead and put your seatbelt on. Awesome. On your right, underneath your thigh, you have the lumbar buttons, okay? Those buttons will be able to adjust your height. You can mess with them, see what they do.
These?
Yep. So those 3 rows that are right there, those are to adjust your lower back position, okay? That's your right height. Push it down. Okay, and the button in the middle, that silver button, is how you're gonna slide forward and backwards. Press it in. There you go. Push it, and now scoot yourself forward. How do you feel? Comfortable? You feel ready?
Let's go. Come on, guys, ready? Here.
I don't want to die.
You won't die.
Oh man, there's
look
no...
Look at,
That's
no faith in me.
horrible, no.
Thanks, Rocio.
Damn, you know what? Get off the bus.
I was going to cheer you on. I'm more.
I don't have a seatbelt. You have a seatbelt.
All these passenger seats do have seatbelts, okay? So, just to get you a little bit familiar with the buttons, okay? On the top left corner, all the buttons are mainly abbreviated, okay? But INT-LTS, what do you think that stands for?
It's interior lights.
Common, right? Okay, so if you have it all the way up, it turns on all the lights in the interior. If you push it all the way down, it only turns on the top hallway lights. So just look at the button before you press it all the way back up. Just look behind Rocio so you can see the lights that turn on. So it's going to be the lights that are on the outsides.
Okay. And then this is
Alright.
for the reading. Yeah.
Yeah, so if you put it all the way up, Rocio, press the light button. Yep. Turn it off. There you go. If you put it in the middle, Rocio can turn it on. Push it. Okay. And then all the way at the bottom is how you would test to make sure that all your reading lights are working. So you
It's
always
just the opposite.
right. So you just want to always leave it in the top position. That way passengers could turn it on and off as they please.
And what's the?
So
Oh,
the
that's
front
that
light,
one.
the front light is always tricky because you need to have your interior lights on for the front light to work. Go ahead and turn on your interior lights. Cool. Now turn off front lights. Okay, no, I'm sorry. Push the interior one all the way down. Cool. Now turn off front lights. So that's what it does. It just turns off these two little lights. You know, it's really dumb. You don't need to worry about that. So the one on the top right corner,
Exterior lights.
that's exterior lights. There's only one mode you need to know about is if you're driving in the nighttime, just push that exterior lights up. When you push it up, it turns on all the lights outside the bus. That way you can drive at night. Okay? Next row down is your hazard. All right, you have your hazard, which obviously turns on, which we are gonna do right now. Hold on. You have to go through neutral, meaning that if you're in drive, you gotta press neutral before you press reverse. If you're reversing and you gotta go forward, you gotta press neutral before you go to drive. All right, so you have to go through that button. Next is gonna be the mirror control, right up there, that big compass-looking thing. That's how you control your mirrors. Okay, you can only control the flat mirror. The convex mirror you have to do by hand. You got a $1.5 million bus and they couldn't give us a button for that. But yeah, so only the flat mirror you'll be able to control. The convex you would have to adjust by hand. Okay, so let's start below that. Yeah, that button right over there, what does it say?
Override.
Override. Don't worry about it. That's a maintenance button. Okay, next one is what?
Mud, snow.
Again,
Yes.
don't worry about that. You don't have to touch that one either. Next is the one that's kind of sticking out, right?
Yeah.
The little stick.
Infinity sign. Yeah.
So that is called the regen brake controller. And what that does, it controls how hard you want your bus to brake whenever you're letting it coast. Okay, so that stick is connected with these little dots.
Okay.
Okay, so go ahead and bring it up to the plus sign 2 times. You see how it went up to level 5 right here? Meaning that when you let the bus coast, it's gonna have a harder kick when you let it coast, because it's gonna brake harder on its own. Okay, bring it down to level 5. Level 3. 3. Now, when you take your foot off the accelerator, it's gonna coast a little bit longer. So the benefit about it coasting longer is you're gonna coast longer, but you're not gonna produce as much energy. When you're braking harder, you're gonna produce more energy, but you're not gonna coast as far. Okay, kind of makes sense. So that's why a lot of drivers always leave it on 4, because it's a little bit of both. 3 is the lowest we can go. All right, let's go to the next level on the left. You have unlock, unload, load, right? Again, don't worry about that. You don't have to touch that one. Next one, rear rise. So exactly what it says is what it does. If you happen to be driving and you see that there's a dip coming up and you're like, damn, I think the back of my bus is gonna bottom out at this dip, you just press rear rise and it'll raise the butt of the bus. That way you don't scrape it, okay? And then I'll explain to you how to get out of that. So next is gonna be level control. Level control is the button you're gonna press to kneel the bus whenever you're gonna be deploying the ramp. All right, do me a favor, go ahead and close your doors. Cool. So by your left elbow, you see the red switch for the wheelchair?
This one?
Yes, go ahead and turn it on. Anytime you're gonna activate your wheelchair, your doors have to be closed. You turn on that switch, and then you read what it tells you to do next. What does it say?
Suspension must be lowered for low entry access.
Right, and if you look at the picture, The picture's always going to tell you what to press. What does the picture say?
It shows the little hole, the level sun.
Cool. Go ahead and press it down. Cool. Now if you watch your screen, it gives you this 2 split cameras. When it gives you the 2 split cameras, that's how you know you're ready to board your passenger in the back of the bus. Okay. Again, we'll worry about that later of how to deploy the ramp and all that stuff. Okay. So let's reset this. Okay. Go ahead and drop that wheelchair switch. Just drop the whole red thing. There you go. Press your foot on the brake. Cool. The next button says recover, right? The next button next to the one that you were pressing down right now.
Yeah, recover.
When you press recover, it'll put your bus back into the regular ride height that it's supposed to be in.
Should I recover?
Yes, go ahead and hit it.
Do I hold on to
Nope,
it? Or?
that's it. Cool. So that's how you put your bus back at regular ride height. So if you happen to hit rear rise to raise the butt of the bus because of an area where you might bottom out, and then once you clear that, recover as you're moving, the bus will level itself out.
Okay, so you forget to fix it. The other bus does it automatically.
You have to press recover.
Oh.
And your bus is gonna keep beeping, and you're gonna see some type of a
If you forget.
symbol here. You won't forget because it's gonna be an alarm throughout your whole time being in that setting. All right. So next row on the left, you have what? Tag
Axle.
Tag axle. Tag axle refers to the 2 tires that are behind the duals. All right. The tag. We call them the tag tires. And then again, you don't have to worry about those because those tag tires are automatic. Anytime you're driving under 15 miles per hour, those tag tires turn with the front tires to help you get through tight turns. Anytime you're going over 15 miles per hour, they're gonna lock in the straight position just to stabilize the bus and help you when you're going on the freeway like at 70 miles per hour. They'll just help you stabilize the bus. Next button, what do you got?
Just on the 110 volt.
All right, so 110 volt. Underneath every passenger seat, there's a plug-in. Okay, so if you have it in the off position, your passengers will not be able to charge. So when you turn it on, they'll be able to plug it in. Keep in mind that whenever you're coming back from any route, you're probably going to have low charge. So if you get to a point where you're at very low percentage for yourself, you let your passengers know, hey, you know what, guys, I have to turn off the plugs because I got to save this charge for us. What do you want? You want to update your Facebook or you want to go home? Right? So you just tell your passengers, you know, I'm turning off the plugs, and you turn off the plugs. Next, what do you got?
Panel lights.
Panel lights. So that's just a dimmer for these lights. If you want it brighter because it's not bright enough, you can brighten it up. If it's too bright and you want to lower it down, you can lower it down. Okay, next.
Driver light.
Driver light. Go ahead and press that up. Right above you. Okay, you get that light. So again, that's when you're coming in like at 3 in the morning and you have to do your DVIR and you can't see, you just turn on that light for yourself.
Step lights.
Step lights. For the step lights to work, first things first, you gotta turn it off. Open up the front door.
So only turns on when the door's open?
You still have to control it. All right, turn on step lights. Turns on that light.
Oh, that way.
So you could leave it in the on position. As soon as you close your doors, the step light will turn itself off. Okay. So go ahead and close the front door and then just watch the light turn itself off because your step light is on. Turns off on its own. All right, so the next one is your blowers. Pretty much where you feel the air, okay? Low, and then middle is off, and then high is high. All right. Next row. Those 2 switches right there, you do on the far right. You don't. Yep. Don't worry about those. And then the next one, again, don't worry about that one because you control it from the bottom anyways. We don't do nothing up here with the Quantum because we always do it in person. All right. Next.
Chime.
Chime. That is really important. Okay. Go ahead and turn it on. Okay, Rocio, press the stop button right above you. That's the stop request, okay? And then you're gonna get it on your screen, stop request. Okay, open your door. And watch your screen. Close your door. So anytime you open your door, you reset the chime. All right?
Oh.
And so you want
So
to
it
make
turns itself by itself.
yeah, when you open the doors,
Uh-huh.
the chime will clear itself.
Oh wow.
You want to make sure you have it on, because if you get to downtown and you're wondering why your passengers aren't getting off, because you probably don't have your chime on. All right, so you want to make sure you have it on. You're like, hey, they're all the way at Union Station. What happened? All right, so the next one is LH blinds and RH blinds. Push them down at the same time.
Watch out.
All right, so you get blinds for yourself. Yep. So those are the buttons, okay? On the screen, there's a button that says pre-trip, right? Go ahead and press it. Press it again. There you go. So, you see how all your lighting indicators turn on? If there were to be one blinking, meaning it means that
It's not working.
it's gonna be going out soon. Okay? So, there's a part of the test at the DMV where it says lighting indicators. You're just gonna press that pre-trip button and explain to the instructor, these are my lighting indicators. If any of these were to be blinking, if any of these indicators were to be blinking, it indicates that one of my lights would be going out. I would report it on my DVIR. That way maintenance could take care of it. That's how you're gonna answer that lighting indicator part of the test. And you could point out a couple of them, right? You could point out like, this is my ABS light, this is my high beam, this is my sign that lets me know I'm not wearing a seatbelt. You could point those things out, okay? And then you could either wait for it to go off on its own, or you could press it and it clears itself out. Simple as that, okay? You have two horns on the bus. You have your city horn right here. Careful, because I don't want them to get startled.
I'm not gonna push it.
And then you have the loud horn, okay? The loud horn is on your left foot by your heel.
Oh,
Okay. So on the left foot by her heel is the loud horn, and then those are the three buttons that you see up there on the front for your left foot. The left button is left turn, the right button is right turn, and the middle top button is your high beams.
okay.
Okay. And then again, it's built like that because mainly we want to make sure that you're always having your two hands on the steering wheel. This bus does have a little joystick on the left side of the steering wheel, like your personal car. And that is how you turn on your wipers. You could also use that to put your left turn signal, right turn signal if you choose to. Okay.
So we can use it.
You can use it,
You prefer
and
us
we
to
only have that switch on the commuter. On the transit buses, you're not gonna have that stick.
It seems like easier to use the foot pedal because it's like way down here.
Yeah. So and then right over here, this is your climate control. Okay. This bus is locked at 70 degrees, so that's all you're gonna get. And the reason it's locked at that is because if it were to be any cooler or any hotter, we drain our battery a lot quicker.
Oh, okay.
Okay, but 70 degrees is pretty comfortable when it's 110 outside, and it's pretty comfortable when it's 14 degrees outside. So we have that. You have your GFI. Okay, this is how passengers pay. They have the tap card right here, and then they have it's labeled. Some passengers don't read the label and they always mix it up. But you have where you insert your bills, where you insert your coins. There'll be a passenger that might jam your, right? You know what I'm talking about, Cynthia? They can't read and they'll put a coin in your bill slot. Now you're out of service. Now your box is out of service because some knucklehead ruined it. Okay. That's gonna reset. So on the top left corner, that is your Avail. Okay, that is how you're gonna log in, and that is how you're gonna follow your paddle. So it has two things on there. It says driver ID, which is gonna be your badge number, and then for run, that's gonna be the paddle number. Remember the paddle? That's that paper that I gave you. That's where you're gonna insert the paddle. Once you insert those two things, we'll use mine as an example just to see if it works. Go ahead and push 1310. For the paddle number, go ahead and press 1010.
on.
Log on. Okay, so on that screen, that is your APC. It says passenger, it's how you count your passengers, which is this sensor right above the door. All right, so go ahead and click on Get Count. Open your front door. So right there in the APC, you would come out. Wait for it to reset. And if I come in, that should switch to 1. If it doesn't switch to 1, it's not working, so you're gonna press fail.
It won't let me feel you.
There
it
we go.
is.
So, your interior announcer, exterior announcer. Go ahead and press on interior. Press exterior. What is wrong with your fingers?
Okay.
Fail, because you don't hear nothing.
It's not active. That's what it say.
And the final one is you're gonna check your RAM. All right, we're gonna pass the RAM.
See, look at it. Look like my fingers.
Cool. So that's how your home screen's gonna look. Right now it's still loading, so it's gonna look a little bit like that. But if we were to have to leave the garage here at 7 a.m., right here it's gonna tell you wait 6 minutes. Okay.
So it won't let you leave a little early.
Some drivers do, but they're not logged into the system.
Oh.
And they logged in.